welcome back to my channel. This week I was going to film a video about my tattoos and getting a new tattoo, but I actually had to move that appointment, so I might just do the tattoo tag video by itself and then I'll do a vlog of me getting the tattoo if anyone's interested in that. This week I got this scratch map from Eason's and I have yet to scratch it. So I wrote down all the places that I could remember going, and then I asked my mum and dad where was I before that. So I'm going to go through from like oldest to most recent holidays. I know I'm very lucky to have been to all these places. A lot of them were with like scouts and stuff. Obviously when I started working myself I could go away more because I could pay for it myself and I wasn't dependent on my mum and dad to do that. They said the first place I probably was, my dad actually said the resort or area, he said Punta Prima I think it is, in Menorca. So that's the Balearic Islands, which are Spanish. Then we also went to Mallorca, which is also a Balearic Island, and he said it was in Mallorca that I found out that I was going to have a little brother. So that's where my life was ruined. One of the other times we were in Menorca, I remember going to see like the other you've entertainment at night time, and it was across the road and it was steps, and I actually thought like up until recently that it was the real band Steps, but I doubt it was because I think they were so famous back then. I just thought it was them and I thought it was the best thing ever. I won't scratch the whole country, I'll just scratch off the islands and then I'll scratch off the country when I get to my next Spanish trip. So the next different place that I was in, I went to Edinburgh. We drove across on the ferry, so it was me, my mum, my dad and my nana, and it must have been in winter I think because it was like still snowing and stuff over there. And my nana always used to slag me and tell a story that we were driving and I really needed to go, and they just like pulled over on the side of the road and I went toilet, and she thought it was hilarious because obviously you can see your pee in the snow, so don't eat yellow snow because you never know what's gone in it. The next place I probably went might have been Lanzarote, or it could have been France. We went to France. It was like my family, so my brother, me, my mum, dad, and my auntie and my cousin also came, and we stayed in like a mobile home park. So that was up like north of Spain around the Brittany area, and then my dad took me and my cousin into Paris for like a day trip. We did the Eiffel Tower and we went to the Disney shop and we got to get princess dolls, and she got Sleeping Beauty and I got Snow White I think. Next place I probably went was I think it's my granddad's cousin lives in Bristol, or I don't know, is he from there as well? I think his parents moved over from Ireland. So my uncle brought me and my nana. We went on the ferry and we went through Wales and drove down to Bristol. It was probably my first time in England and Wales, I'd say. I'll scratch them both off because I know I went back to Wales as well with Scouts, so I know I've definitely been to both of them. I joined Scouts or Cubs when I was like 11 or something. When you go into Scouts, which is when you're 11 or 12, and they do have, well, my Scouts did have like a trip away every second year kind of. Now looking back on them, I'm like, Jesus, that probably was kind of expensive for my mum and dad to do, but they sent me away, so thank you. So our first one was, it was like we went to Switzerland and we were there for probably 10 days. I think we were in a place called Adelboden and we did like outdoor adventure stuff, zip lining. I did like a pendulum jump, which is basically, it's a bungee jump, but instead you go down and then swing instead of just going down and back up. So I would not do that now because I don't know, when you get older you think of the danger more. But when I was 12 I was like, yeah, it's fine, I'll just go jump off a bridge. So that was really fun, and it was like my first experience of going away, not with my mum and dad. So I'll scratch off Switzerland now. So that was in 2007, I think. And then that year, I also had like two family holidays. We went to France, and we also went to Lanzarote that year. We kind of went to Lanzarote every year for like probably 10 years straight or something. When we first went there, we went to an area called Matagorda. That's near Porta del Carmen. We only went there for 1 year, and then the other years we went to Playa Blanca, which is, I think it's further south. It's just a bit quieter. Love going to Lanzarote. Love to go again. The Irish Anvil bar in Playa Blanca. They've the best chocolate fudge cake. And I'll scratch off the Canary Islands now. So just to know, I've been to like the Balearic Islands, Canary Islands. I don't think by 2007 I hadn't been to mainland Spain at all. Oh no. When I was maybe 9 or 10, I think we went to somewhere. We went to Salou and we went to Universal Studios, and I went on my first roller coaster. And my dad said it was hilarious because I was all fine, 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 and it was going up, and I was like, "Oh, this is great! I love roller coasters." And then, obviously, the big drop came, and I was like, "No, Daddy, tell them to stop! I don't want to be on this anymore. I want to get off." Obviously, I couldn't, so I had to live through it. But I I don't know. I don't mind roller coasters now, but back then, like obviously, I loved them because I was little. So I'm gonna scratch Spain off because I have been there. 2008 again, we went to Lanzarote. And then with Scouts, we had a jamboree, which is loads of Scout groups from all over the world come and stay in one country, and it's just a big camping week or whatever. But that was in Ireland, down at a race course called Punchestown. In 2009, we went away with Scouts again, and we went to Belgium. Did Scout stuff again, hiking, swimming, activities, zip line and stuff like that. So I'll scratch Belgium off if I know which one it is. So in 2010, again, probably went to Lanzarote. I also went to the Gale Talk that year, which for anyone who isn't from Ireland, there is certain areas in Ireland, so you've like Donegal, Galway, Cork, Kerry, they're Gael talked areas, so that means that they speak Irish. So like if you go to the shop, they'll speak to you in Irish. The signs will be in Irish. Blah. So basically, the Gael talked is school kids go away for 3 weeks to a Gaeltacht speaking area to try to better their Irish skills. And then that's because you have to do a Irish oral exam for your finishing school exam, so you're leaving cert. Then that same year, 2010, we went on like a weekend or 4 or 5 days away. We went with Scouts, and I think they asked us where did we want to go, and we said Alton Towers. Then 2011, again, probably went Lanzarote, and we also went to somewhere in France with Scouts. I don't know where. I know we were 16, so the drinking age in Ireland is 18, but in France it's 16, and our parents had like signed a thing to say, yeah, it's okay if they have a drink or two with dinner once the Scout leaders are there, blah blah. One of the days, we went to a road trip to a different town, and we were let like, right, go off, have a walk around town, there's a beach, do your own thing, come back at whatever 4 or 5 to meet at the bus to go home. So we decided to go to a beach bar and start drinking. And your man at the beach bar was like coming over giving us free food and stuff because he didn't want us to be like absolutely wasted. He obviously knew we were in French because we were abusing alcohol because that's what Irish people do. So then afterwards, we were getting ready to leave, and then as we were leaving, obviously the sea is right beside us, so we all started jumping in the sea, and then we went back to the bus and we all put like our sunglasses on because we were like, they can't tell we're drunk if we've sunglasses on. And we were getting on the bus, and all the leaders were laughing at us because like obviously they knew. Also in 2011, I did German in school, and we went to Berlin for like Christmas markets, And one of the times we were walking through the Christmas markets, and one of the girls was like, "Oh my god, who's that over there? Is that Michael Bublé?" And all of us were like, "Oh my god, it's Michael Bublé!" And we all started screaming and stuff, and we were like, "Hey, can we go over?" And the like security guard or manager was like, "Shh, we don't want like anyone else noticing who it is." And we were like, "Oh, can we get a picture, please?" He was really nice. But I always remember we thought it was hilarious because loads of Germans were like, "Wo ist das?" or "Wie ist das?" Who is it, like? Because they didn't know who it was, and we thought it was so weird. Like, you're in a Christmas market and Michael Bublé, the Christmas man, is here and you don't know who it is. So I'll scratch off Germany now. I love Germany. I've been there loads of times. One of my favourite places. If I had to live somewhere else, I'd probably live in Germany. Then in 2012, I don't know, did we go to Lanzarote? I'm going to assume we probably did. And then we also went to Prague with Scouts. They said Prague. They misinformed us a little bit. It was like a tiny little village with like one restaurant, one shop, and two hostels or something. I don't know what that was called. And then on the last night, we went to Prague and stayed there. So we're in the Czech Republic. So I'll scratch that off now. So now we're up to 2013. The summer of 2013, I finished school. So big scale. I did my big exams. So in 2013, that was like my last family holiday that I went on, and that was somewhere south mainland Spain. Then also in 2013, I went to Amsterdam for the first time. So I think we went there for a week, maybe 5 days. I like Amsterdam. Anyone, obviously, when you say I like Amsterdam, everyone's like, "Hey," but I actually like it as a city. I think it's really different to any other cities that I've been. Like, they have the canals and you can get bikes. Very risky to get bikes though, because you might die. And they do really good like pancakes and waffles and stuff. So I'll scratch off the Netherlands now. And he picked Malia in Greece.